Let me take the side of a European privacy advocate. I've argued with them
Please.
all, and they're going to say that it's not the law's fault that when they, when they went to cookies, that everybody went to federated IDs based on that's because our industry is so evil, and that if you blame European law for people switching to something less private, then you're making a mistake. It's just that the law needs to be more vigorously enforced. That's what they say.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm a big advocate for like we shouldn't legislate based on the concept that people aren't going to listen to the law. And like, because that's the thing, right? That's the thing in all legislation. You should never make the pragmatic argument, well, because the law is written this way, people are going to ignore it. So we should pass the law this way. It's like, no, when you pass a law,
Yeah.
you pass a law under the auspice that it will be obeyed and it will be enforced. Um, I just think that GDPR was so vague when it comes to any sort of user tracking that it basically meant that everyone was basically going to be in violation of GDPR in perpetuity. And that's why there's all that hubbub about TCF, because TCF, by the letter of GDPR, I'm sure has violations. Like, I'm sure that it does. You click one thing to give consent to 300 companies. Like our GVL ID, when we're going to publishers now, we're like, oh, just slap our GVL ID into your like giant consent framework, and
It's
now you're good.
it's
Like, and that's not how GDPR is written.
You can't get a massage anonymously in Europe without consenting to them to the intake form liabilities. It's a stupid, terrible law. They don't want to admit they got railroaded by Google. It's not a privacy law at all. It's a security law. And that's the evidence that Google lobbied to have it written that way, right? It's all about who owns the data and if they're keeping it secure enough and if they have the consent. A privacy law would limit how much data you could collect and store on an individual, right?
Right.
That's what a real privacy law would have done. You could say you could only have 100 fields. You could say you only could have 1,000 fields per individual, right? And when you collect 1,000 first, you have to delete one.